And the trial has begun for convicted Parkland school shooter Nikolas Cruz. Cruz pleaded guilty for killing 17 people at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High in 2018. And now 12 jurors will decide whether he will get life in prison or be put to death. At the start of today's proceedings, the judge asked one of the jurors about a conversation she may have had about this case at a doctor's appointment. She said she did not discuss the case. So far, this hasn't impacted the trial. ABC News contributing and managing partner at the Cochran firm, Channa Lloyd, joining me. Also, ABC News contributor and former NYPD chief of detectives, Robert Boyce. All right, let's talk about what's going to take place starting now. Channa, opening statements have begun. Has anything stood out to you so far?
One of the most interesting things about opening statements so far is that they were very clear about the timeline when these statements came out. And what they essentially did was show that some of these statements and intentions were before some of the most traumatic events that have happened recently in his life. And that is really an attempt to undercut the mitigation that you're going to see the defense put forth later, saying that these traumatic events, the death of his mother, being relocated, had effects on his mental state. So that was very important for the state to underscore today.
So, Bob, this tragedy inspired a wave of youth-driven advocacy to push for gun control. As you know, we've covered so much of that. How could that impact how jurors view this case? Because clearly those movements went viral.
It did. It did not affect them is something wholly different. This jury has a difficult task in front of them. They only have to determine his fate, whether it's life or imprisonment or death penalty, but they also have to endure this graphic evidence. So that'll come down to a parade of difficult things to watch and to walk through. And in the end, the impact statements by the victims' families, a terrible thing to endure as well. So this thing is this happened 4.5 years ago, and now we're just looking at it now and just saying we're trying to figure out exactly where should we go. We're still making mistakes on these protocols. We can't do this. I'm hoping we see something in this trial that changes part of those protocols and training when you go forward.
And Channa, the defense actually requested a delay in the sentencing for Cruz following the mass shooting in Uvalde to try avoid being unfairly influenced. It was denied. So could the timing of this trial change anything here?
I mean, there's always a possibility. These jurors don't live in a vacuum, and they are aware. However, let's keep in mind they are instructed that it is to be their verdict should be based solely on the evidence presented in this particular trial, and those events should not be factoring into their consideration.
All right, so finally, Bob, in his opening statements, the state attorney did talk about how the school shooting was premeditated. He said that Cruz made a cell phone video saying that he was going to be the next school shooter and planned to kill at least 20 people with an AR-15. He was detailed. So why bring up this piece of evidence?
Well, it's key to see how long he planned it and his mindset, too, and how many people saw it and didn't respond to it. This individual had a lot of problems in his life, there's no question. But there's a lot of people who have emotional issues going forward, but they don't do this. So how long, when did he start acquiring the ammunition? What statements did he make afterwards? 300, he walked into that school with 300 rounds, incredible amount of ammunition. So that all needs to get put into the record to show how long he's tried this.
Bob Boyce, Channa Lloyd, thanks, guys. We'll follow it all throughout the day.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.